Southern Mallee Giants netball. It's on the line. It's all or nothing. It really is no tomorrow unless you win. If you win, there is. And somebody who knows all too well is Zali Brown, goal shooter for the Southern Mallee Giants and our regular guest on the report. Zali, how are you?
I'm really well, thanks, Wayne. How are you?
Good, good. Are you nervous? You've been in this situation before. The Giant girls have made finals before. Are you really nervous about this one, or is it just another game for the girls?
We think we try to tell ourselves it's just another game. Try to keep the nerves away, but I think deep down, there are a few nerves, which is not a bad thing. Gets you up and going, but I think after that first minute or two, the nerves settle and we're just another game.
All right, just another game now. I watched the Brisbane Lions beat Richmond, which was a fascinating game, a brilliant game of football. Your dad would have been having a coronary, but I watched it because Chris Fagan, and I just was absolutely thrilled for him. The dad figure sort of thing, coaching. Well, you girls have got the dad figure in Anthony Shack. I mean, Coleman's dad has come back to the coaching realm and he's got you girls into this first semi-final, and he'd have to steady the nerves, surely.
Yeah, I know. He's got to take a big, deep breath. He's got to keep all of us, level-headed. He can't be getting too excited on the sideline, but I think he's very passionate and he's a really great coach. We're very lucky to have him again coaching us.
I tell you what, the write-ups on you girls looks like he's a pretty good bloke to have around the netball court. So great stuff. And talking about write-ups, what's this about one of your girls? Before the game last week, her partner, Dan, Jodie Hayes, she's got a rock on her finger that looks like the size of a netball.
Oh, it was amazing news to show up Saturday morning and hear that, he did pop the question. He kick-started the day really well. Started off on a high, so that was very exciting for them both, and cannot wait to see the photos from the wedding when it eventually happens.
Great stuff. All right. Having a look at what happened on the netball court. And you drew within 8 points at the end. 61 to the Saints, Southern Mallee Giants 53. But if there's a commentary that I could replay from last week, it will be the slow start that the Saints took you in the second quarter previously. This time they got you in the first quarter. And really after that, it was the same margin that they held. You got back to within 6 at half time, but it wasn't much in it from that point on. But they just wouldn't let you into the game. That first quarter was the difference.
Yeah, I think there were a couple of nerves, a couple of easy mistakes we made early on. And once that first quarter was done, we matched them for the rest of the game. But unfortunately, having that slower start, we couldn't quite get back in. 8 goals is the closest we've come, though. We're getting closer and closer to them. So if we do verse them again next week or in the grand final, hopefully we can turn that around.
Yeah. Tell you what, Jodie Hayes played out of her socks. Maybe it was the wedding ring or the engagement ring that she's got on her finger. The wedding ring is what she wants. Steph Thompson too, those two girls. And I did notice too that you've been able to recruit these girls into the club, which has probably strengthened up your side. And a couple of the girls I know come out of the Horsham competition previously.
Yeah, we have great connections throughout Horsham. A lot of girls either work or have lived there. Our recruiting team is amazing. We seem to pull people from everywhere, and we always get the best of the best. So very lucky to have all those girls come out and play for us. Yeah,
great stuff. Steph Thompson, she absolutely dominated up forward, and her shooting was magnificent as she turned it into a really close game later on. 32 from her. She was on fire.
Yeah, she absolutely had a great game. Didn't miss very many, which was really handy. We don't know how many rebounds we would have been getting. Their defenders are very good, but didn't have to worry about it with her awesome shooting. Yeah,
great stuff. Across the defensive unit too, some pretty good play in defence. The girls really turned up and put a good effort in. Not to be denied, the Saints are a really, really good side. They got Georgia Clody with 33 and Abby Hallam 28, and Abby Hallam for them, very good player. That name Hallam, it seems to ring a bell with Hopetoun for me.
Yeah. We have so many good players. We've got Hallams everywhere,
Yeah, it's good stuff to see that name up there in lights. So, okay, what does that then mean? Because the other game of senior netball, it was Dimboola taking on Minyip Matoa. This was the knockout. Dimboola are knocked out at Central Park, 41 to 34. And this was on Sunday. How did you see this? Did any of the girls get a chance to go down there? Did any of the coaching staff have a look?
I don't think we had anyone there on the actual day. We were keeping up with Player HQ, having a look at the scores quarter by quarter, so we knew how the game was progressing, but I don't think anyone was surprised. We thought Minyip might get on top of Dimboola, and it was a very close game though, so it would have been interesting to watch.
It was very low scoring actually, and comparing it sort of to the game that you girls played on the Saturday, it looks like they grunged it out as an elimination final can be. In the end, it was really close at the three-quarter. Dimmy came back in the third to get within one goal, 27-26, but a 7-goal win to Minyip Matawa. They went away in the last quarter, so it was a good effort from them, and they had a couple of really good players. Faith McKenzie and Tamika Mentha were the good players. Lucy Brown shot to 25 goals for them, and Madison Morgan 16, but their mid-court and back-court were named in the better players.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, they have a very strong defensive unit, Minyip. I think that's key to them winning, is those turnovers that they get intercepts in the back half. So hopefully we can nullify that on the weekend so we can get up on them.
Okay. On their sheet from last week, they had just the 7 players named on their sheet. I noticed that you girls have gone in with the naming of your sheet, and we'll go through those players because this is the A-grade Southern Mallee Giants side that will play. Zali Brown, goal shooter, yourself, Steph Thompson, goal attack, Emma Mill, who's wing attack, then Jodie Hayes in the centre. We talked about her good efforts last week and the engagement that got her really going. Cody Robbins is the wing defence. Abby White, very good in goal defence. Amy Walder, another one of those Walders. She must be from over Watcham Way with a name like Walder.
Absolutely. Born and bred, I believe, Birchip.
That's right, goalkeeper. And interchange is Maddie Shannon, Trudy Cook, Gemma Lehman, Mackenzie Bellinger. And so a very, very good lineup. 4 on the bench there. Any thought about the on the bench, I guess the numbers there? It's 11. Most likely you won't use a couple of those girls, but injury, is that the reason if a couple go down?
Yeah, injuries, COVID, illness, there's many things that could go wrong, unfortunately, on a day-to-day basis. So we have those girls there, but then also it's good to have, throughout that mid-court, the rotations, the fresh legs, making sure that we're full of power the whole time. So I think it's good to have those rotations, it's good to have options, and even if they don't make the court, there's support there, and just having them there is amazing.
Okay. Anthony Shack, the coach, Janelle Lawson, who's the assistant. What's Janelle like? I mean, does she keep her cool on the side, or does she give it to you when you need it?
I think she's got a wealth of experience, so much knowledge that she gives to us, being a shooter herself, so it's amazing to have her guidance on the sideline. She can keep a pretty level head, but I think if it gets close, she might get a bit excited, hopefully, or nervous, depending on the result. Oh,
yes, I think so. It's a massive game in the context of your season because you got to finals. The 2 Horsham sides were above you. Now Minyip Matawa, a side that was below you on the premiership ladder. I mean, if you take a look over the season, you girls that got to 38 premiership points, Minyip Matawa 32. They were 8-8. You were 9-6 and a draw. So not a massive amount between the two. The 2 previous games, they won the first one up at Hopetoun. You came back and you beat them in the second game. So this is on, isn't it? It looks like a really even matchup.
I think it is going to be a very even matchup with 1-1. Hopefully it'll be 2-1 our way after Sunday, but we know it's going to be a 4-quarter grind. We know what we're coming up against, and I'm really excited to head to Ararat. It'll be nice and fresh there, I'm sure, to play them on Sunday. Okay,
47-42 is the last outing that they nailed you, and on that occasion that you actually nailed them, I should say, they got you earlier in the season in round 4 by 8 goals. But this is crucial because at 3-quarter time it was 34 goals apiece. There was nothing in it. They had led the game early into the first half. So, again, Southern Mallee Giants have got to watch this first half because I reckon you want to get on top early and try and stay in front of this group because they certainly, in the previous game, in that first quarter, 13-13, second quarter, 13 to them and just 8 to you in that second quarter. This is a really important quarter for you, that second quarter again against them this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we need to start well, but then not drop off at any point. We need to be right there through the 4 quarters. Luckily, we did get them in that 4th quarter last time, but we definitely do not want to leave it until the 4th quarter again this time, because it's finals, it's a different game, and you want to be in it from the beginning.
I do notice too that Steph Thompson on that previous occasion, she scored 16 goals, but she's dominated in the last game, and she outscored you as the goal shooter, as the goal attack. So that just says to me that she's actually in better form coming into the end of the season, and she could be the difference.
Yeah, I hope she plays exactly like she did last weekend. She was so strong in that goal attack and goal shooter. We do swap a little bit throughout the game just to give her a bit of a break and get me to stretch my legs out in goal attack. But no, we work really well together, and as long as one of us is 100% on, hopefully the other one is there for the rebounds in case.
Okay, the Madison Morgan and Lucy Brand are their shooters. So who gets the big 2 defensive matchups? I mean, will you switch them around, or do you go with your best goalkeeper?
Yeah, so we're going to start with Amy in goalkeeper. I think she's quite an intimidating person in that ring. She can really own it. So if we can get into their heads earlier in the quarter, in the game, that'll hopefully put them off a little bit, and then we'll see quarter by quarter how it's going, and we might make changes or we might keep it the same.
All right, it's a very exciting game. It is preliminary final day. It is going to be the Southern Mallee Giants playing Minyip Matawa in what will be a thrilling game of netball. Now, coming up on the calendar, the 18th of September, which is the day after the Horsham or the Wimmera the grand final, and it will be a big vote count up at Hopeton.
Yes, we have our final function for the season the day after the grand final. Hopefully we're in it. So hopefully we'll be celebrating a win. That would be amazing. But regardless of the result, we will all be in Hopeton together as a club one last time for the end of the season.
Yeah, great stuff. We're really looking forward to that. It is really a thrilling game. Now, the other A-grade match this weekend, I should say, is the semi-final, correction to preliminary final earlier on. Horsham play the Saints, and you played against both of them. These two want to get to the direct traffic to grand final day. Who do you think wins?
I can't see Demons losing. They have had a really strong season throughout the whole year, only having that one draw against Dimmy in the middle. But they've been so strong. They did really well against Saints last time. I'm not sure if Saints, I think they had a bad day, but they have played well all year. I can't see them losing, but Saints are in such great form. I think it's going to be a ripper of a game.
Certainly going to be. Saints last week were good with you, but the D's, when you've played them, they have been really, really good against your club in the past. So I just got a reckoning that the D's will get through against the Saints, which would, if you get through against Minyip Matawa, it sets up you playing against the Saints, and you've had 3 outings against them, and they've beaten you each time, but you've got closer each time. It's 8 goals now, but a lot to make up, so a really tough ask, but you've got to get through this one first on the weekend, and we wish you all the best. Zali, you go and do your absolute best on the weekend. We'll be cheering for you from the sidelines and from the internet, and look forward to the results coming through and talking to you next week.
Thanks, Brian. I look forward to chatting next week.